Moin YouTube. We're walking from chaos to calm today. Fancy joining me? Let's go. All right, Hamburg Central Station. Over 500,000 passengers each day, Germany's busiest train station. But we're not here for the trains, we're starting our walk here. Okay, I think we have the chaos covered. And right next to Central Station is where the district of St. Georg begins. We will walk through that. I will tell you a bit more about it, probably in the voiceover. I may have to be careful filming in this area at times. We'll see. Let's go. This is Hansaplatz, and for decades it's been one of Hamburg's roughest areas, with the drinking scene, drug deals and prostitution. Today, 16 biometrical AI-powered cameras are watching the place, restaurants and cafes open up, but the scene has just been pushed into nearby streets. Yeah, so that was Hansaplatz. I couldn't film too much there because people can be a bit on the edge there at times. Well, you would have heard about it. You would have heard about it in the voiceover by now. So we're going on. So that is another side of St. Georg. It is absolutely the unofficial LGBTQ plus capital of Hamburg. Lange Reihe, the street here, wasn't always the lively rainbow boulevard you see today. For a long time, St. Georg was a rough working class district. Cheap rents, cheap bars, and a reputation that kept the nice parts of town looking the other way. But that grid gave space for something special to grow, a place where outsiders could feel welcome. By the 1970s and 80s, this street had become a lifeline for Hamburg's LGBTQ+ scene, with bars and cafes that were more than places to grab a drink. They were safe havens when being openly gay or trans was still a risky thing to do. Today, Lange Reihe is a symbol of that hard-won freedom. Every summer, it transforms into the starting line for Hamburg's Christopher Street Day Parade, a vibrant, unapologetic march through the city. It's loud, political and proud, but it's also a reminder. This street didn't just happen to be colorful. It became that way because people fought for it, and you can still feel that energy in every cafe, every flag and every smile along the way. And here we are again at the Alster Lake, but just for a short moment. No matter the weather, this is Hamburg's most popular running track.
Ja, okay.
Told you. So we have just entered the district of Uhlenhorst, which can be described in one word: posh. So stereotypically, this is where they do the 500-meter trip to the hairdresser in a Porsche Cayenne. Well, stereotypical. Other than that, not much is going on here, but that's kind of the point. So welcome to Uhlenhorst, where life is just a little shinier and the hairdresser run in a Porsche Cayenne is practically a local tradition. This district wasn't always so polished. Back in the 17th century, it was little more than marshland along the Alster. The name Uhlenhorst, Owl's Nest, comes from a farm that stood here in the 1600s. But by the late 19th century, Hamburg's merchant elite discovered the area, drained the land, and built their villas with gardens reaching down to the water. Today, you will still find traces of that old grandeur, tucked between modern apartments, boutique cafes, and delicatessen shops, where the word budget doesn't come up very often. Uhlenhorst is about understated wealth, a place where people don't flaunt it, but you notice it anyway. You can see it in the perfectly restored facades, the Ulster-facing balconies, and yes, the fleet of SUVs waiting outside yoga studios and hair salons. But there's more to Uhlenhorst than money. It's one of the city's most beautiful neighborhoods, with canals crisscrossing the streets and some of the quietest, greenest spots for an Ulster walk. It's Hamburg at its most serene. Just don't be surprised if someone overtakes you on an e-bike that costs more than your first car. So I guess I need to explain why Uhlenhorst being posh and quiet is kind of the point. And the point is, if you're posh and you want to party, you go to neighboring Winterhude. Winterhude. If Uhlenhorst is the quiet, well-mannered sibling, this is the one who dresses up just as nicely but knows how to throw a party. Once a sleepy fishing village on the edge of the Ulster, Winterhude became part of Hamburg in the late 19th century and quickly turned into a playground for the city's middle class. Old brick warehouses and factories were converted into lofts, cafes, and bars, and today it's one of the liveliest districts in town. Mühlenkamp and Gertigstrasse are where it all happens. A mix of trendy restaurants, quirky boutiques, and bars that don't care what day of the week it is. It's still posh, but in a more relaxed, slightly chaotic way compared to Uhlenhorst. Think Aperol Spritz at 5, dinner at 8, and cocktails until the neighbors start complaining. But Winterhude also has a softer side. Canals winding through quiet residential streets, the charm of Art Nouveau houses, and the huge green space of Stadtpark just a short walk away. It's this mix of elegance, nightlife, and that always something going on vibe that makes Winterhude feel alive. So there is me trying to show you one of the nice residential streets of Winterhude, but it's all full of construction. But still quite pretty here, isn't it? If you get tired of canal shots, let me know in the comments. Heading north along the Goldbeek Canal, Winterhude's polished elegance starts to fade. The white stucco facades give way to red brick, solid, no-nonsense buildings that speak of Hamburg's industrial past. This was once the city's working-class backbone, home to dock workers, craftsmen, and factory employees. The architecture reflects that shift: less ornament, more function, but with a quiet beauty of its own. You can feel the energy changing as we move closer to Barmbek, a neighborhood shaped by the rise of industry in the 19th century, by bombing during the war, and by the rebuilding afterward. And just a few meters on, we are arriving at Stadtpark. So this place, Stadtpark, was designed and built right after World War I as a park for the common people, as opposed to posh elitist parks that also existed at the time. So the center of this park is this huge open grassy area where on a more reliable sunny day a lot of people will be playing ball games or having barbecues or just hanging out, and this is absolutely amazing. The park was made after World War I, as I said, and you can imagine at that time wealth and morale in Hamburg were pretty low, so city planners were trying to do something about that, including building this park. There is also a public swimming pool here, an outdoor pool, and a open air concert venue and a planetarium even. So like this place has a lot, and it's worth exploring in its own video very soon. But now it's time for a break for me. Okay, I bought this back at Central Station when I started this walk, and now I'm finally eating it. It's an avocado and feta sandwich. Looks delicious and actually is very yummy. And with a barbecue party going on in the background, I am wrapping up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I did enjoy this walk, and I hope to see you around next time. Take care for now.